mean in a tough guy, get in a fucking pit way. I mean, show these cunts some love. Waco are the best fucking artists I've ever fucking worked with. They've gone through stuff I can't even fucking begin to imagine. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I fucking love you.
My name's Jack, I play vocals and I play guitar, and I'm the front man, so I'm the egotistical one at the front of the stage. Yeah. I met Tom because I saw Tom had an Operation Ivy t-shirt on and I was like, that's a cool band, maybe we'll get on.
I remember I had an Operation Ivy t-shirt on, can't remember what his was now, but I remember it was another band I was really into, so kind of knew straight away that would work, but it wasn't until we finished uni that we had the time to go to start writing songs, so basically went from there.
So we started jamming a little bit, and then we needed a bassist, so we went to All Ages Records in London, and on the wall they had loads of people looking for bands, like a Lonely Hearts Club but for musicians. Yeah. And we saw Chris, bassist, Seek's band, influences Black Flag, Poison Idea, Zeke and Martyrdod. I was like, God, we like those bands.
I've known Craig, the drummer, since I was about 14. We both grew up in Jersey, listened to punk music. Craig would be one of the guys who'd like sneak me into like rock bars that wouldn't let me in underage. So like, that was an early era.
My name is Welshie, aka Lethal Bissell, aka the Psychomodo. My mum and dad call me Craig, and I hit things in the band Waco.
So we've been on that same lineup for 5 years, pretty much.
Goodbye to the sunshine. Sayonara to the beach. Goodbye to the sunshine. Sayonara to the beach. She will never forget this.
We've got this electricity that we've got to share, and it's a kind of dialogue actually. It's not just a monologue on stage, it's a dialogue, so whatever's happening in the crowd I try and make it about them as well. It's energy transferal fucking chaos.
Loud, but yeah, it's usually good positive atmosphere. Like, I like to think of it as like a party every time. I enjoy it a lot.
Hopefully make people smile, hopefully make people dance. We like to make it a real performance as much as we can, and I've got nothing against people who stand around with their guitars kind of looking at their feet. I don't mind that. That's fine. That has a purpose. Everything has a place in this world, in this music world. But for us, I can't do that.
It means a lot to me, and I know it definitely does for the other guys as well. Like when you're a young band, putting all your spare time and effort and sometimes money into it, it becomes a big part of your life. And like we've been going for, I don't even know exactly how many, but a few years now. So it's like a family, really.
Gives me something to look forward to in life, in this mundane society we live in. and hopefully we can make people happy along the way.
It's magic. It's magic. It's a brotherhood unlike any I've known, and you spend so much time with each other, and you have a shared emotional investment into this project that we've got going called Waco, and it's good. I think about it all day, every day, and it's people seem to enjoy it. I don't know what to call it. It's obviously a band. We're a rock band, and we make rock music, but on the inside, it feels pretty big, pretty massive. Yeah, it's a really massive part of my life. I cannot imagine my life without it. He was not of this world. He truly wasn't. I've never met anyone like him, and he was just not of this world. He doesn't belong in this world.
If you lose a brother in that situation, like the amount of time that we spent together, writing, on the road, practicing, socialising, it's definitely going to change the dynamic.
It's obviously affected us in a strange way. It's hard to get your head around something like that happening.
I don't know if I could really quantify it to anything really. It's like, it's too hard to pick a specific. It is different, but it's just one of those things.
I really wish that Chris was still here, but we can't change that.
It would have been the last thing he wanted for us to stop, and with the band having such a positive outlet, I think it would have been the worst thing for all of us to let that be the end of us.
My friend James, old friend of mine, offered, if you've got any gigs booked, because we had gigs booked, if you've got any, then I'm happy to step in.
I think Jack said that we don't know what we're going to do. We have things lined up, we've got the album recorded, we don't know what to do. And I think when it became clearer that the band did want to carry on, I said, I'd be honoured to help you as a mate and mates with the other lads, just to get through this next bit. You don't have to make any commitments now, we'll just see. We had a really cool gig booked with massive wagons, and I think after that we knew if it clicked and it felt quite natural.
It's what I would have wanted to continue the band, so that's what we do now. We're in our second phase, the second age of the band.
I can feel it in my bones. Love, love, love. Even though I'm sleeping on my own. Yeah, to all my heavenly brothers with existential dread. To all the everlasting legends that wish they were dead. You need love. I can feel it in my bones. Don't stand to lies, your eyes to the world is moving on. And if you ever meet the dirty devil, then don't be surprised when the hell you're created comes to swallow you alive.
We've got an energy, like a creative energy that's not like anything I've ever experienced, and it's given us such a different perspective on life.
We're in it together to have fun, and I feel like we have a really positive message and we have important things to say. We comment on things that people aren't necessarily talking about and perhaps should be.
Jack's such a positive dude. That's his outlook on the view, and I think times like this, everyone's trying to divide us. I think Jack's lyrics are really important.
I mean, I listen to all sorts of music, positive, negative, but I think for something that I want to actually be a part of creating, I think that I really appreciate our universal positive outlet as a band.
People think that pessimism is deep, somehow deep, and the optimism is really shallow. Somehow, I don't know where they got this idea from, but it's like, oh, you know, I'm a realist, aka I'm a pessimist. And it's like, optimism actually changes things. Like ideas and dreams change things. They do.
And like when we'd had 3 EPs prior to the album, and like when we went in for EPs, it was a case of like, right, like coming with 4 hits, like just every song has to be like on it.
Also, we learn how to really push ourselves musically and really experiment and just have the courage to experiment, not be afraid of failing, not think about what the listener will enjoy necessarily, because we don't really have a one type of demographic who listens to us. There's all sorts of people who like us, so I thought, fuck it, if we do what we like and all 4 of us like it, maybe other people out there will enjoy it as well.
I would say that we've realised that for 4 untalented individuals that get us all together in a studio, we can actually make a couple of alright tunes, I'd like to think.
It is more internal, it's kind of us purging our innards, getting it out there into the world with a lot of the lyrical content, but also it's some of the softest stuff we've done and some of the most ambitious, I guess that's all we can say.
The EPs have been fast and furious so far. I think with Deathless the sound got a little bit more, with tunes like Mother Mercy, got a little bit more experimental in terms of songwriting and structures and things like that. So Human Magic's like the first sort of, if you just think of the EPs as a start, the Human Magic's like the first main course that anyone's ever had from Waco, and it's naturally what you'd expect from Waco with lots of surprises as well.
If we can make it, it sounds half decent, let's do it. We might be totally lost in our own egos, but fuck it. It's what we wanted to make, so yeah.
The future that the sunrise brings, it sings a fresher song, and not some rosy hippie trip where we all get along, but one where understanding and compassion reign supreme, and dreaming big won't have the stigma that it seems to. We won't label lads as bastards if they make a mad mistake. We won't label lasses sassy sows if they're complicated. It could be little villains clad in streetwear wearing beats, or some beachhead beatniks wearing flares and washed for weeks. But we all sleep with the deep ability to care and have compassion for another chap that wishes they weren't there. Okay. The tiny, mild, the childish, wild, the lonely, lost, and loud, we've made it to today, and for that we should be proud!